Well, I'll clip that out later. All right, let's try that again. It's called Ringing His Bell. In and out of reverie, what will be will never be. In his mind he's 13. He's a king and she's a queen, and they roll on, da 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 da, down the hill to the stream. And on his handlebars his girl, sunlight in her curls, and she's ringing his bell. She's a hard act to follow. Here's today and here's tomorrow. They're waist deep in the water. She's a queen and he's a pauper, and they roll on, da 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 da, down the hill to the stream. And their fingers laced between, sunlight on her skin, and she's ringing his bell. Concentrate on the moment. Concentrate on the moment. Be a child at play. In and out of reverie. What will be will never be. And in his mind he's 13. He's a king and she's a queen, and they roll on, da 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 da, down the hill to Mary Street. And on his handlebars his girl, sunlight in her curls, and she's ringing his bell. And they roll on, down the hill to the stream. And their fingers laced between, sunlight on her skin, and she's ringing his bell. She's ringing his bell. She's ringing his bell. She's ringing his bell. Well, I guess if that didn't happen at least once in a while, it wouldn't be live streaming. This song I wrote about a guy who kind of came up to me at a gas station begging for $20, and which is a lot of money. And he had this story about his car breaking down on the highway and how he was trying to get to New York. And you know, I don't remember if I actually gave him money. I don't remember, but I remember I was at a show telling somebody about how this song came about, and they said, "I know that guy. He's been wandering around Catonsville for a long time, and pulling the same thing." And I was like, okay. So I think I must have given him money, because I remember feeling kind of bad that it turned out to be a total BS story. But yeah, and after that, the person didn't even buy a CD off of me after they found out that we shared that moment. So I don't know. Mister, I just came in to have a talk. Seems a lot of guys down here are down and out. Well, I just started a job down in Arbutus, and I was wondering if you'd help me out. See, I ran out of gas along the highway, and if you tell me to get out, I'll go away. But my brother's got himself in some trouble, and I've got to get to New York by today. Well, I know there's a lot of people hurting, and I know that we all must do our part. And I know there's a lot who say they're dying, but Mister, help me out and have a heart. I don't do drugs and I gave up drinking. I'm as safe a bet as you would ever get. And I've gotten myself to some trouble, but I haven't broken any promise yet. And I know there's a lot of people hurting, and I know that we all must do our part. And I know there's a lot who say they're dying, but Mister, help me out and have a heart. Well, I could ask you to be a decent man, and if I need to break down and beg you, then I will. I could have told you something far more sympathetic, but if you don't want to help me out, you will. And I know there's a lot of people hurting, and I know that we all must do our part. And I know there's a lot who say they're dying, but Mister, help me out and have a heart. And I know hurting, and I know that we all must do our part. And I know there's a lot who say they're dying, but Mister, help me out and have a heart. Thanks for popping in again. Got some lyrics here because some of these are songs I haven't played in a long time, but this one is a song I haven't played in a week because I just wrote it and finished it on Sunday. And I don't talk about it a lot, but I used to be in the Army. And I don't know. I don't really agree with war, so I don't know what I was doing in the Army. But I had some people in my unit who were terribly excited when a war started because it meant that they got to use all the skills that they learned. And I thought that was a really screwed up attitude to have. But one of the things that has pretty much plagued every soldier that's ever come back from any war is that, it's a pretty lonely thing that you went through a whole bunch of traumatic experiences, and the most traumatic of which is probably killing another person. And an awful lot of people don't care, or they say they care and they don't seem to really care. Or they'll pay lip service to it and be like, thank you for your service. Which I think is a pretty, it's kind of a lousy thing to say because it often comes from people who seem to be very much in favor of continuing the, voting for the same people who are going to start the next war. Although, I realize you don't always have a choice in that matter. But, so this is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of John Prine in here, but also just kind of general bluegrassy Woody Guthrie type thing. It's called Charlie Came Home Sunday, and I don't know, it's about PTSD or something. Charlie came home Sunday, home from the war. Mud on his boots to find that no one even cares. He said, I'm bandaged and bruised, and I'm prepared for the stairs. It's not PTSD, but apathy, and caught me unawares. Charlie came home Sunday, home from the war. Wrung his hands about the constant ringing in his ears. He said, I'm sunburned and lonesome, and I wish I wasn't there. It's not PTSD, but apathy, and I've had it up to here. Charlie came home Sunday, home from the war, with his stomach tied in knots and sort of feeling misinformed. He said, nah, I'd be lying if I said I want parades. It's not PTSD, but apathy that had him in my grave. Charlie came home Sunday, home from the war, feeling like a hero once he counted up the score. He said, I can't pay the rent, but I wasn't staying in. It's not PTSD, but apathy, and no one takes the hint. Charlie came home Sunday, home from the war, holding keys to his parents' house and staring out the door. He said the world is such a funny and a wicked place to be. It's not PTSD, but apathy that really got to me. He said the world is such a funny and a wicked place to be. It's not PTSD, but apathy that really got to me. I like writing, I really like writing songs that are kind of morbid, but very upbeat. I gotta pull up some lyrics. This is another old one. So, I keep mentioning the perpetually forthcoming Midway Fair album. And we started in 2016, and half the songs that were on it we finished, and then half the songs that were gonna be on it, all I had was the demos, and I was in school for a couple years, and then the band became afflicted by fatherhood, and so a whole bunch of plans were kind of put on hold, and I don't know, we got around to the Midway Fair 10th anniversary show, and I was like, well, crap, we haven't put out a record since 2014, despite the fact that I thought we'd have another one done by now. So I wanted something to be able to give out to people, and it turned out to be this album called Monsters, which was really just it was about half of it was the demos that were the other half of the new Midway Fair album, and then the other half of it was just some FAWM songs that I had lying around that I had written in February 2017 that I thought were, just about good enough for a Midway Fair album, and so I ended up putting out something under the Midway Fair name, even though it was just me in my room. But this is a song called Once and For All, and I think this was me trying to write a depressing country song like my friend Stephen Lee, who I was playing mandolin and lead guitar for at the time. So, you know, I tell people if you're a songwriter and you're my friend, eventually I'll steal from you. I don't know. I don't think he ever wrote a song that sounds like this. It was just, this is what happens when I was playing with him. Well, I wish you hadn't said you still loved me when you said that you'd made up your mind. And I wish you'd been as angry as I when I said we're a waste of time. And I wish you'd thrown something against the wall. Couldn't leave it alone. So let's end this once and for all. And I wish you'd be half as mad as me. Blew away like smoke from your lips, where we'd always hung on before. And after endless nights awake on the floor, don't think I could stand one more. But deep in our bones, we both know it's nothing or all. Could still make a go, though we both know the chances are small. And I wish I could be some way to let it be. So if your love is slipping away, I'll tell you some words you can trust. Never mind the bullshit that you've loved and lost. I'm pretty sure it's not worth the cost. So just be alone. Won't be waiting when you call. And I wish I'd known how to let it go. All right, there we go. There's a depressing country love song. Nothing ends well. Except, you know, in a song. Nothing ends well in a song. Lots of life in it. Oh, okay. This is going to be my last song. I didn't put down the lyrics for it because I actually know the lyrics. I haven't played a cover on stream in a while, and this one's got fancy finger work, and it seems to impress people. Which is not the best reason to play a song. The best reason to play this song is that it's a good song. This is a Richard Thompson song. And it's definitely his most famous song, and it's also his most covered song. Said Red Molly to James, well, that's a fine motorbike. Well, girl could feel special on any such line. Sid James to Red Molly, well, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning 1952. And I've seen you at the corners and cafes, it seems. Red hair and black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind and down to Box Hill they did ride. Said James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand. But I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. Now fought with the law since I was 17. And I've married many a man to get my Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22, and I don't mind dying before the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, called Sergeant McCrae. They've taken on James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun blasted his chest, left nothing inside. Come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she got to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath. But she smiled to see him cry. He said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Said James, in my opinion, well, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. No Nortons and Indians and Greaveses won't do. Well, they don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. And I took her hand and he slipped her the keys. Said, I've got no further use for these. I see angels on aerials and leather and chrome, swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Short stream today, of course, because it's an off week. Next week, I've got Joey Jenkins from, he goes by Silence Echoes, but he's also the drummer for Iliami, and he's drummed for some other folks. But if you have joined us late and you go back to the beginning of the stream, skip the first 4 minutes or so because I forgot to turn my microphone on when I started the stream. But I fixed that after a few minutes. I'll clip it out. And that way people watching the playback later won't see it. But it's going to take a little bit for that to happen. Very embarrassing. But it wouldn't be live streaming if I didn't embarrass myself once a week. So thank you all for joining in. And I will see you next week with Joey Jenkins. He is a fantastic songwriter and very, very good vocalist as well. So I'm pretty excited to have him up, and I might even let him play the drum set. But we gotta work out the sound situation for having drums at the same time as a vocal mic. So thanks. Have a good one.